Welcome back to RAMBOMANIA. Now, this movie changed a lot of people's lives. It was the groundbreaking film that really put the spotlight on the one-man army action epica genre. It's a movie that takes itself seriously, but not so seriously. It embraces its faults, and above all else is dynamically fun and entertaining, on every level at that. I have so many wonderful memories, watching this movie, so many times that I lost count. Much like Cobra, watching it at the foot of my parents' bed as they snoozed off into the night, or, watching it on TV at my dad's chalet, which is a story we'll save later thanks to Michael Chapman. I got a great story, but that's going to come a bit later. Later on, when we get to Chapman's submission for the Rambo First Blood Part 2 Fox television cut that we're going to look at thanks to Mike Chapman. So I got a great story about that later, but just like the countless times with friends and family and Cornell, with my girlfriend, just recently I watched it with my niece Sonia, the TV version and the theatrical cut for the upcoming reviews. But the first time I saw this movie was at my sister and brother-in-law's place. The same apartment they had where I had watched, first discovered First Blood. And sometime later rather, but I was really young, and my brother-in-law, Pat, turned to me and said, I'm going to watch Rambo, and you want to watch it with me. And I remember thinking, yeah, man, I want to watch First Blood again. So he puts it in, and we get that intro explosion. And I was like, what? I didn't know we were watching the sequel. I didn't even know there was a sequel. So needless to say, my jaw was on the floor through the whole thing. It was larger than life itself. And, I've been watching it ever since. Time and time again, I've seen this movie so many times, especially in that era, in that time period. I was constantly watching this movie. And when I went to see Beverly Hills Cop in the theater with my father, we were trying to go see Gremlins. I wanted to see Gremlins, but they would not let me in to see Gremlins. My dad's like, what do you want to see? And I was like, I want to see Gremlins. And then I saw the Gremlins poster, and I was pointing to the poster. But I guess I looked a little unsure because the lady behind the counter, the young lady, was like, I don't think he can get into Gremlins. So I was really small. So, but I'm pretty sure I remember an ad or something for Rambo 2 with that scene where Rambo goes to get Murdoch at the end and he's walking in through the doors. And, I kind of vividly remember something like that because that scene already, always has, at that time anyway, had stuck out in my mind as a pivotal scene. So I might have, I don't know, maybe, maybe over the years, maybe I'm wrong, maybe over the years it's just my mind playing tricks on me, which has happened more than one time, Case in point, the Rambo 2 TV cut. Fabulous story that we're going to get into when we review Michael Chapman's submission. But at this time, I'm pretty sure I didn't know that there was any kind of sequel involvement. And when my brother-in-law put that on, I was just transported to another world. It was just a real treat to see, a new Rambo movie. And, oh, hold on, I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, you're never gonna believe this one. That was Mr. Stephen Chang himself. His phone died, but he gave me some stuff to write down and to go look at it, and he's gonna call back later. That man is just wonderful. I can't wait to speak with him again. We've been keeping in touch. A lot of great announcements are coming your way regarding the great Grandmaster Stephen Chang, VC Commander himself. A lot of big announcements, especially for Rambo fans in Montreal. So I'm not going to give too much away just yet. I think I'll wait for Steven. Yeah, so, Steven's just really, really wonderful. Thank you, Steven, for taking the time to come on the show and sharing with us. You're very much a big inspiration to me and to many of the fans out there. Now, getting back to Rambo First Blood Part 2, I really have to thank my brother-in-law, Patrick, for getting me into Rambo. He even dressed me up as Rambo for Halloween. And, he strapped his survival knife replica, just the case, not the knife with the case, but just the case, to my waist. And, he even... So I got to go out trick-or-treating as Rambo, and that was awesome. And, I can remember, at camp, jumping out of the water, pretending I was shooting people, holding my breath underwater, jumping out, shooting at people. I was really young. People all around laughed, but they probably thought I was just, the weird kid. Anyway, he had a neighbor actually named Mike. Awesome guy. We talked about him in Season 1 during the David Morrell. Mike was an awesome guy. Still is awesome. One of the best guys you could ever meet. He had a lot of books, and he came over and we trade books and CDs and stuff. Just awesome guy. But when I was really small, he lived beside my sister and my brother-in-law, and I'd go over to his house to play with the lady who was going out with at the time had a son, and we would play Rambo. And I don't remember the kid's name, but he would always beat me up, and he always got to be Rambo, and I was always Yushin, which is ironic because he was bigger and I was smaller. Anyway, great memories with Rambo 2, One of the things I think that works so well about the movie is the sheer badass quality that the movie brings. It's really great fun, in every meaning of the word. It's funny, the circumstances also that we bring Mike up again, because the last time I saw Mike, unfortunately, was at my good friend Stefan's funeral. And it was also my birthday, and it was also the day that we did the First Blood review. And, we also told that story around that time. So, and even further, going back to the David Morrell novel, we talked about my experiences with First Blood and the novel, and Mike's involvement and everybody else's involvement. And Mike's just the warmest, caringest individual. I can't wait to one day see him again. But yeah, so it's today kind of feels like a full circle, going back in time. One of the beautiful things about RAMBOMANIA is we can embrace the past, the present, and the future. And these memories and those memories will always last a lifetime. Briefly, just going back to the cinema story I was talking about before. I was really young, so I could have been imagining this whole thing over time. Maybe just my brain played it out a different way. But I'm pretty sure when I went to see Beverly Hills Cop, I should actually check the street date for Beverly Hills Cop before I say this, but I'm pretty sure I saw some kind of clip with Rambo walking in the doors on his way to see Murdoch, right before he blows the shit out of all the computers. When he walks in and then there's that close-up on his face. I'm pretty sure I saw that in the theater. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure I saw it. But at the time when I saw Rambo 2, for some reason I had no recollection of there being a sequel. I guess it's because it took me by surprise with that explosion in the beginning. I looked over at Pat and I kind of squinting and I was like, Rambo? And he was like, yeah, Rambo. And then looking at the screen and then seeing the dust clear and Sly's breaking the rocks. And when he turned around, it was like, oh my God, oh my God, this is going to be crazy. And it was crazy. It was the most amazing of viewing experiences. So to you know, but that's my sum up of it. And I guess we'll explore my sum up of it further when we do the review, because you know, I want to kind of save a lot of my initial reaction for the review, because it was such an influential film in my life, as I know it is to many of you at home watching. So if anybody out there can help me solve the mystery, and if anybody knows if there was a clip like that, you know, in the cinema with Rambo walking in to meet Murdoch, please let me know. Please let me know, because you know what, I've looked for it many years and I didn't find it. But it's weird because Rambo 2, the the Halo jump scene that's in the TV cut of Rambo 2 is not online either. And I thought I was making that up. I thought, you know, oh my god, you know, there's no way that could exist. Blah 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 blah. I must have imagined it when I was younger. But thanks to Michael Chapman, it really is a real scene, a real deleted scene, and I cannot wait to share that with you guys. I think we're gonna put it on the page. In the future, we're gonna put it up probably right after the First Blood Part 2 review, when we delve into the TV cut. So I want to thank, you know, Michael Chapman, because, you know, it really exists. That scene really exists. So maybe the clip I'm thinking about, maybe that exists too. Maybe I wasn't imagining it. I don't know. I'll do some research. I'll check it out. And maybe we can solve the mysteries together. So when we come back, we're going to reminisce about some of that good old badassery that is Rambo First Blood Part 2. Beat up! Come on,